that's a fun little intro. I like it because it seems like it's exciting and it seems like it's a sense of fun. But I'm not feeling particularly fun today. I don't know why. It's just sometimes I just get burned out on it all. It's like, why bother? I mean, you reach a point sometimes in life where you feel invisible. You just feel like, nothing's there. Nothing you do is even noticed by anybody. You go out in the world, you walk around, you're invisible. Except to the cashier when they want your money. Yeah, I sat in a bar a couple of weeks ago for half an hour, and I couldn't get a drink. That was the cat bumping the tripod. See, told you. He notices, But yeah, sometimes it's like life just kind of takes off and goes and does a thing, and you're just sort of standing there like you missed the bus. You're just kind of looking down the road waiting for it, but it's already gone, and everybody's on it doing things, having a good old time, and you're just there like, how did I miss all the fun? How was I on the bus one decade and then the next decade, and I'm just standing out here on a wet, rainy street corner wondering what's going on. It doesn't make any sense, See, when I started looking into the subject of UFOs and aliens and all that fun stuff, I thought, wow, it's pretty exciting, I mean, I was in my 20s probably when I started getting into it seriously, but ever since I was a kid, I liked UFO stuff. I always seemed to have these memories when I was little of having seen UFOs, even in my backyard. I don't know, was it a kid's imagination? Probably. But I remember seeing things in my backyard when I was a little kid and thinking, whoa, or floating above the house and kind of above the trees in the yard, but I don't know if that was real or if I just made it up. I mean, you're a kid. You remember things differently. And, I was in my 20s. Weird things happened, strange things. I tried to figure out what any of it meant. I'd get these weird dreams that were like visions, but then they had like this real world context that I'm like, how would I ever even have known that? And that, that seemed kind of intriguing. It's exciting. It's like, whoa, maybe there's something bigger going on. Life is more interesting than I thought it was. And it was something to drive you. It was something to go after and something to be excited about. And then you meet other people that are kind of excited about the same sort of thing. They're doing the same kind of thing that you're doing, and you're learning from them, and you're kind of weeding out the nonsense from the real deal. That's kind of where I was. I knew BS a mile away. And a lot of these people, they like the BS. They like getting in groups, and all of them are making up crap and sharing it with each other and acting like, oh, that was such a spiritual, wonderful, whatever. Yeah, and to me, that ain't what it's about at all. What you guys are talking about is a frickin' daydream. That's nothing. That ain't real. But you guys are all enjoying your party, so enjoy it and have fun without me. And I found people that were like me, who knew the BS from the real deal. You really cut through the crap, and we spent our time focusing in a scientific manner. Take it, there was stuff that was kind of outside the realms of what we think of as science that we couldn't explain, that we tried to figure out and tried to research, but a lot of times you come up with more questions than you do answers. You go out looking for stuff, and sometimes you find things. Well, then what? How the heck do you figure that out, or how do you explain that, or fit that into your paradigm here of what's going on? So, we were doing this back in the days before people would sit in front of video cameras and record stuff and put it up on an internet website. The internet was was barely a thing back when I first started this. Sometimes you could research. There was very few websites even in existence. There was no YouTube. There was no Facebook. Social networking wasn't a thing yet. So we didn't really socially network. We went out. Sometimes we would video record things, but most of the time, you know, the camcorder batteries we had, they died in like 2 hours, and then you'd have to charge it, and you know, you had to bring tapes with you and all this stuff. And it seemed bulky. It was crazy. We did some of that, but not a lot. We did a lot of stuff with recording devices, other things, but we didn't have like handheld FLIR or night vision. Eventually we got a night vision scope. It's a crazy big old thing from Russia, a surplus store. But now when we'd go out and we'd look for UFOs, oh, there's one. Yeah, we'd look for aliens, the little fuzzy ears. And but we did it in a way that most of the time didn't yield any provable results. A lot of times it turned out to be experiences. We would have experiences between us. Me, a couple friends that I would be doing these explorations with. Maybe it was out in the desert, maybe it was at somebody's house who claimed to have some unusual alien activity or something along those lines. And we'd go check it out. A lot of times nothing would happen, but a lot of times stuff would happen that we'd just stand there going, what do we even make of this? All right, we came out looking for it, and we found it, and now we don't even know what to think. You know, I mean, you'd hear noises, you'd hear voices, you would see shadows, you would see beings, and then they would vanish, and you're trying to figure out, how's that even work? You know, how do things just vanish while you're staring at them? And you want to think, well, maybe I'm seeing stuff. That's the easiest thing to go with. But the guy standing next to you saw it too, and it also vanished while he was looking at it. You're looking up in the sky. You see a light making several 90-degree turns instantly and take off into the distance. You know, everybody saw the same thing. How do you make sense of that? You know, obviously you have to kind of put it out there as, well, we don't know. It's obviously some kind of high-tech, possibly alien stuff. Possibly we were seeing aliens. Possibly we were seeing other creatures. Maybe we're seeing something that was mentally projected into both of us. I don't know. All kinds of crazy sci-fi stuff comes up, and you don't really know which answer is the right one. And it gets overwhelming at times. You start thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I bothering? And that's where I hit a point like that about maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It just seemed to be going nowhere. It was kind of a pointless sort of endeavor. I'd seen a lot, discovered a lot of things for myself, come up with a bazillion more questions for myself, and didn't have any answers. And I'm just like, what am I going to go look for more lights in the sky? Look for more UFOs, go to other places, see more weird little things I can't explain. Been there, done that. It was just becoming kind of a routine, and it I don't know, it just stopped holding interest for me. I just wanted to get away from it. I wanted to find something more tangible to focus my life on, and I didn't. You know, I couldn't find anything to do. So now I sit here, just do plain old boring IT, take phone calls, repeat the same half dozen or more answers 20 or 30 times a day. Half the time that doesn't work, and there's no explanation why, but that's IT. So I don't know. I went from being all interested and excited in the paranormal, UFOs, aliens, and then just, I don't know, did I grow up? You wouldn't think that by watching my other videos, but I don't know, just something changed. It just stopped holding interest for me, which is weird. I don't know how something like that could stop being interesting. I've had people suggest maybe, you know, it's hypnotic, post-hypnotic suggestion type stuff that made me get away from it, stuff I'm not aware of. Which, to be fair, a lot of the things that happened in my experience didn't happen to me specifically, but I was laying asleep in bed while things were happening to other people, specifically ex-wives. And that's probably part of the reason why I'm not married anymore. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night talking in some weird, freaky foreign language, and you don't remember it, But your wife laying there is all like, what the hell's he saying? You know, how do you explain that? I'm like, no, I don't know ancient Byzantine or whatever the hell I was babbling on about. I don't even know what I was saying. Don't remember it. But it happened 2 times, 2 different people. Actually, several times, 2 different people. I wish I could have recorded that, but you never know when it's going to happen. You're going to record every night? You know, we just didn't have the technology for that back then. I guess we do now. Hell, I'd probably still do it for all I know. But I don't care. You know, people have woke up in the middle of the night, seen things hovering over me, standing over me. I don't remember it. First ex-wife, she woke up, saw something standing at the foot of the bed, pointing some weird little pear-shaped object at her, and then it just vanished. She thought it was funny until it wasn't. I wasn't there. I was at work. I was doing an all-nighter, one of the shows I worked, putting it away. But yeah, it's, you know, so, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe they were all run off for some other reason other than the one that seems obvious, which is, you know, typically me just making bad decisions and poor choice of companionship. This one, he's okay though. He likes me, I think. I don't know. Get out of here. So, yeah. I don't know, maybe I just outgrew it. Maybe life just got to be too much in all the other ways. And maybe everything stockpiled and combined on me and I was just done. I don't know. Done for years. You know, I went on from one point in life after another with no actual plan. I mean, I ended up doing everything I ever did kind of by accident or because other people made a decision that led me to have to find another way of doing things in my life. I almost didn't make any of the decisions of where I ended up moving or what I ended up doing. I just did it. Until I moved to Florida. That was a decision I made. Yeah, my job gave their jobs to everybody else, and so that ended. So I took my severance pay and moved to Florida. I thought, yeah, this would be great. Have some fun. Except that Florida's freaking weird. It was a very strange place to live. I liked it. Generally, it was annoying, but no more so than anywhere else, I guess. Different ways. A lot of things I did like about it, but had to move back here. I was told by the last ex-wife and the kid. They didn't like Florida. They got tired of it. Too hot. Too many bugs, whatever. So, back again. Doing what I'm told and not doing what I wanted to do. Things were out of my control again, but I was doing it because I'm trying to be responsible. So, that's how you go. You do what you're told. And then, what do you know? The ex-wife leaves. Wants to be single. Do her thing. So it's like, all right. So now I sit here in my house, which I finally bought a house. No house that we ever looked at together was good enough for her, so, you know, she didn't really want a house, turns out. That's the way that goes. But now I have a house. I bought a house. I live in it. It's little. I like it. It's comfortable. It's just for me. My kid stays here on the weekends. We have our fun together. You've seen Space Marble. It's just easier while he goes to school. During the summer, he'll stay here more. It's just he stays where he needs to stay for himself. He makes his decisions on his time. So that's cool. But yeah, here I sit. You know, when I was in Florida, I started doing my little web series, my little ghost hunting videos. Those were fun. I kind of got into the ghost hunting thing. That was good. Made a few short films. I tried to regain my interest in filmmaking again, and I really did. Now I kind of have a direction and things I want to do with it, which is cool. But you know, it's a road to travel. I got a long path ahead, so I'm gonna just do it. I sit here. I make little gadgets for alien hunting. I drink my alien head vodka. Yeah, that stuff is not good. And I just try to regain some of my interest in things I used to really like doing. You know, life is too short to just miss out on the fun. And sometimes it just feels like the fun is gone. It's like it's all ended and everybody forgot to tell me. So, here I am. I don't have much to talk about today. Just that. Kind of the history of it all. I'll probably post something pretty cool. I'll talk about. I got a good Men in Black story. We'll talk about that next. I'll post another one here later. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of amusing. Also a little weird, but not your typical movie type stuff. It's just, I call it Men in Black because, what else are you going to call it? So we'll talk about that in the next one. I'm kind of working today, ignoring phone calls. So I guess what I'm just trying to say is stay interested. If it's interesting, stay interested. More people than ever believe in aliens and UFOs. And more people than ever believe that they've been to this planet and they're here now and they've been here for a while. They believe a lot of various different versions of that. I mean, the government is putting out videos of our fighter jets following UFOs that they can't identify. I mean, they're describing these things as more massive than anything ever made. There's nothing that large flying around the sky, but they're sitting there looking at it, looking at fleets of them flying around. This is the government saying that. Our government, finally. I mean, you hear, Brazil disclosed aliens are real. Russia said aliens are, you don't believe it when it's from other countries. I don't know why. Our own government is like, we got some UFO videos. So I think we're close. We're probably real close to the truth coming out. I mean, just full-on disclosure to the point where there's no way you could possibly deny it. It's going to come down from, stuff's going to fly down from space and everybody's going to see it. Aliens are going to be common knowledge. And everybody who laughed at us or made fun of your ideas that you believed in UFOs or thought you were a quack or some kind of nutcase for even humoring the idea, they're the ones that are going to look stupid. And I think we're going to be around for that sweet payoff, which is kind of cool. It's bittersweet. I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. I'm like, I already know. I know more stuff than most people will ever know. Because I've been there. I've spent the time going out there looking, finding out things, finding answers, discovering for myself. Like I said, there was no place to post stuff about that back then, so I didn't even think about it. But, I'll just be like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Ooh, aliens, wow, spaceships are real. Whoa, what do you know? So, while the rest of the world who's been in denial this whole time, their entire lives, suddenly trying to come to terms with how aliens are real and spaceships are real and all the stuff everybody that's been saying for years is real. The rest of us are going to be kicking back, drinking beer, feeling some validation, which is nice, but at the same time a little ticked off that, what does it all mean? What does it all mean, Kitty? You got the answers? Because I don't have them. Maybe he knows something we don't. He sits there and stares up into the corner of the room at night. I don't know why. So yeah, keep up your faith. Keep watching the skies. Do what you do. Keep your belief alive. May as well. Nobody's going to do it for you.